Good morning. This morning we are on the second part of the third session of Compassion Camp, and it's about how important it is for us to show compassion to ourselves, or self-compassion. And when we do that, we're better able to help other people and show compassion to them. So the first thing I want to do with you this morning is read to you from Mark 12:28 to 31. And this is about the main rules, the biggest commandments that Jesus taught us. Jesus and the disciples spent a lot of time in Jerusalem. One day he was at the temple, a place where people gathered to worship God. And he was teaching and telling stories. Remember that Jesus was always, during his lifetime, teaching and trying to help people learn about God. A lot of people listened eagerly, but many had questions. The temple leaders and elders were unsure of him and asked, "Who gave you the power to do and say these things?" Some were jealous and wanted to trick him. So they asked, "Should the people pay taxes?" Others were worried and asked him, "What happens in the resurrection and the afterlife?" Then one temple leader was curious about Jesus. He saw that Jesus was wise and kind. He asked him, which one of God's laws or commandments is the most important? And this is how Jesus answered. The first is what we all know. "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength." Now that's something we've heard before. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Before the temple leader could ask more, Jesus went on. The second is love your neighbor as yourself. These two are the most important laws of God. Love your neighbor as yourself. He wants us to love ourselves. He's trying to teach them in this story about the importance of loving themselves and loving their neighbor. So when we're talking about how important loving yourself is with Compassion Camp, it's right there in the Bible. And one of the two commandments that Jesus cites is the most important. It's really what he wants us to remember is loving ourselves. So I want to go back to this little book. I read it to you last week, Listening with My Heart. It's all about self-compassion. Remember that compassion is when we see someone, we feel what they're feeling, and we want to help them. So just like when we see someone else, we need to remember to see ourselves, to feel what we're feeling is okay, and then to go easy on ourselves. Forgive ourselves, love ourselves, be a good friend. So this page is all about being your own friend. So it tells you to wrap your arms around yourself and give yourself a big hug. We do that when we do air hugs a lot, like this. And take a big deep breath. Okay, now listen to this very carefully. This is about being a good friend to yourself. You want to do it, Nate? Come here. So Nate's going to help me. He's going to wrap his arms around himself. You're wrapping your arms around yourself. Give yourself a big hug. All right. When I feel sadness, hold on, you're going to think these words in your head, okay? When I feel sadness, may I treat myself like the friend I need. Do you ever feel sad, Nate? No. Never. Yes, he does. We all do. When I feel sadness, may I treat myself like the friend I need. May I show love and kindness to myself. How do you think you'd do that if you were sad? Maybe just let yourself feel sad for a minute. Let yourself know it's okay. Whatever you're feeling, when you're feeling it, it is okay. Show yourself love and kindness. Be kind to yourself. Let yourself cry a little bit. That's okay. When I feel anger, may I treat myself like the friend I need. May I show love and kindness to myself. So when we're angry, when you see someone else be angry, what do you think about that? Do you ever try to help them to calm down? Maybe you talk to them calmly. Maybe you encourage them to take a break. That's what I do. Maybe we walk away from each other. Do that for yourself too. When you're feeling angry, give yourself a moment. Be the friend that you need. Show love and kindness. Think of many different feelings that you feel. We did those note cards that had different feelings on them. Maybe pull those back out. And when you look at them, think about what are the ways that you could show kindness to yourself if you're feeling those things. Always showing love and kindness to yourself. There's just one more thing I want to do with you. This week you are going to get another packet. you're going to get strips of paper, and on those strips of paper, I want you to write some nice things about yourself. I'm going to send you 7. They're going to be in rainbow colors, and I want you for each one to write something good about yourself on them. We're learning about loving ourselves, so write something good. Adults who are watching this, whoo, bless you, who maybe don't have a child in your house, but you have a child that you love close to you. Yes, Nate lost his other tooth. You can see he's missing one. There's Jack. Hey, Jack. So if you have a child in your life, this is something great you can do for them. You can do it now or anytime. You make a paper chain. You might have done that as a kid at Christmas. I always did a countdown. This time the paper chain is about something good about that child, and you give it to them as a gift. And every day they get to rip a piece off and read it. And it's like they're reading something that's affirming how wonderful they are. So you can do that on their birthday or any time. You can make a paper chain with all the things that you love about them. That was fake.
No, it wasn't.
All right, so I'm going to do this with these guys this week. I'm probably going to do 2 paper chains. I'm going to make one for them, and then they're going to make one for themselves. The other activity involves you doing something that you love. If you love to bake with your mom, ask your mom to bake with you. If you like to maybe draw one of the suggestions, which I think is kind of cool, is to draw a picture for yourself. Write a note to yourself. Can you imagine doing that, writing a note to yourself? I haven't done that before, but I think it sounds pretty cool. And definitely, these guys do a lot of pictures. Every so often they'll say, I think I want to keep that one. I don't want to give that one away. So draw something really cool for yourself. All right, are you going to pray with me? Jack, will you pray with us too? Come on back. Come on back over. So the prayer for this week, remember that pick your head up. Remember that for these prayers, we're trying to remember to think and to feel at the same time. We're going to think and remember to love ourselves, and we're going to feel how good it feels when we're being a friend to ourselves, okay? All right, ready? You got it, Jack?
Yeah.
One hand on your head, one on your heart. There you go. Think and feel. Gentle One, thank you for your spirit within us who guides, encourages, and strengthens us. Help us see ourselves through your eyes with love, kindness, and deep joy. May we love our bodies, treasure our hearts, and celebrate our spirits. Amen. Amen. Thank you. I hope you guys have a good week. Be watching for that package to come.